Y'all remember Michelle Obama's end obesity thing? She was obviously and openly fatphobic. Why didn't more people talk about this? It just wasn't a big deal as it should have been. I'm seething. If it wasn't such a big deal, then why are you seething? What has Michelle Obama specifically done to harm you other than just encourage people to be healthy? It truly begs the question why you're taking this personally. It's not like she took away your food, so it begs the question, what are you really upset about? Michelle Obama using her position to promote healthy eating? Or are you focusing on how that healthy eating message makes you feel? Eating junk food is so common that when someone starts eating healthy, it's labeled as dieting. That's not necessarily sending the message that you think it's sending. That's not a gotcha, that's just sad. If society is so used to eating processed junk food to the point that eating a fruit occasionally is seen as dieting, we have gone off the deep end. Something terrible has happened. Whenever I see a poorly dressed thin woman, I feel like it's a full-ass attack, cause I look good despite the limited options for the fatties. You literally have all the options, so like, where's the mess up? Oh, your assumption is the mess up. You assume that all sorts of clothes don't fit your body type, and your reasoning being that it's personal and not the fact that you're just unhealthy. You see, you're mad at the thin woman not having a good clothing day because she has all the options. You wanna know why she has all the options? Because she's normal. You're abnormal. Do you catch what I'm throwing here? Oh my god, my dad is a fat black man, and they called him saying since he's fat, he can get an MRI at the zoo if needed. Let me repeat this. They send fat people to the zoo to get MRIs because average MRI machines are not big enough. Fat phobia is really dehumanizing. How fat is your dad? How enormous is he that he can't fit in an MRI? MRIs are some of the biggest machines that you can encounter in a hospital. Oh my god. Now, I can't really wrap my head around how big your father is because I've never been to an MRI in person. I'm very blessed to have relatively good health, never needed to see an MRI in my life. But I have seen pictures of them. And if your dad is too big to fit in this, homie is struggling. He's on the struggle bus with square wheels. Whatever he's going to the MRI for can take a back burner. He needs to lose weight first. The BMI scale was developed in the 1800s when cocaine was still recommended as a health supplement. Of all the arguments against BMI, this has got to be the worst one. This type of argument can be applied to any sort of medical innovation at any point of history. That's kind of what medicine does, it develops. At the time, cocaine was genuinely believed to treat multiple different illnesses and different disorders. But with some medical advancements, we know that that's not true. That logical fallacy can be applied to anything. BMI isn't perfect, and no one's saying that it is. It's just a measurement. It's an approximate measurement of how unhealthy you are given your weight compared to your height. Is it perfect? No. Many bodybuilders have high BMIs, even though they have a low fat count. It's because they're just muscled out. You can't use BMI as a standalone measurement, and hardly any doctors do. It's just another way of looking at someone's health. Even though this sentence says that you don't care, I have a feeling that you do care, because very rarely does anybody feel the need or the motivation to tell someone to go f themselves with a cactus. I'm just saying. There has to be some emotion there. There has to be some thoughts there. That's not organic. That comes from somewhere. Don't eat so much. I already barely eat as it is, and I'm still morbidly obese. You are a medical miracle if you barely eat. Where's your body getting the excess calories from? Genuinely curious. I ate around 1,000 calories or under for years and was still 250 pounds. Only after I started eating again, I lost the weight. Ayo, this is the one. What is she on? What are you talking about? Clearly you know nothing about fat people, eating disorders, or how the body actually works. I do, because somehow when I eat, I lose weight. I go out of my way to eat more than I typically do and I lose weight. I don't know, maybe I'm an X-Man, maybe I'm like a mutant. Yes to body positivity and being beautiful no matter what size you are. But please don't romanticize obesity. Nothing romantic about being so overweight you can barely move. Continuing an unhealthy diet while battling multiple weight-related health issues is nothing to brag about. Eat whatever the f you want. When I'm on my deathbed, I'm not going to remember a salad that I ate. I'm going to remember the time I slammed 30 hot wings, because why the f not? You see, I don't understand why everyone wants to live so long. I'd rather have an awesome 50 years than a boring 100. Awesome in what way? you doing whatever you want, sure, that's great, but the way you're gonna go out is going to be terrible. Do you really want to spend the final decade of those 50 years on a CPAP machine and hoping to God you don't have another heart attack? What about your family? Not your family, but your family, your parents, your siblings, your grandparents. What about them? Do they want to see you slowly kill yourself and then die at the incredibly early age of 50? That's awful. But whatever, am I right? Nothing matters. Anything that feeds your selfish desires, anything that makes you feel good is great. Because at the end of the day, it's a distraction. You're not really living in the moment. You're not trying to have a fun life. You're just trying to avoid all the ugly moments with substances. Your substance isn't a drug or alcohol or a drink, nothing like that. It's food. Food is your outlet. You love it because it makes you forget just how terrible your life is. 14 days without sugar, no candy, no cookies, no chocolate, no joy, no satisfaction, no celebration, not a good idea, and pretty impossible. Don't take the challenge. Let me get this straight. Hold up. Let me just get the full perspective here. You can't see yourself stopping sugar consumption for 2 weeks. You can't do it. How weak are you? No. Seriously. If you can't see yourself not eating chocolate or any sort of sweet food for 2 weeks, you are bitch made. 100%. You are weak. There is nothing that can save you. If you can't stop for 2 weeks, you can't start at all. If you genuinely can't stop yourself, you need a professional. You need a doctor to be with you. You need a gym trainer. You need more support than yourself. You have so little constitution, so little discipline to stop yourself for 2 weeks, you can't do it alone. That's just me being genuine. This is an interesting flowchart because the two options are keep eating because you're not full, and people who have an addiction to food, I doubt, have an idea of what full is. And if you feel satisfied, great, move on with your life. That's literally the same result. Obese people and overweight people can feel satisfied after having 7 Big Macs. Does that mean it was a good thing? Does that mean that action was intrinsically good? No! This flowchart just encourages people to indulge in their addiction. No, just eat until you're full. What is full to someone who has an addiction? Alright, the test came back. You're a fat ass, and being fat causes sleep apnea. So, what we gonna do about that? Can you please do a sleep study? Yeah, but you can't do it at home because we don't make the equipment big enough for you to use at your current BMI. What do you mean, which is it? You're still fat. No, he's not being a hypocrite. You're so big that you can't even be helped at home. He has to keep you at the hospital to make sure that you actually have sleep apnea or not. You see, he's guessing. He says being fat causes sleep apnea. He's unsure. And you're asking for a sleep study, you need to sleep there, because the equipment there can handle your big ass. I'm not worried about getting COVID and dying because I'm fat. I'm worried about getting COVID and dying because of fat phobia. Fat phobia doesn't kill anybody because fat phobia isn't real. Also, the medical industry loves you guys. You're keeping them in business. As long as you're slamming back Oreo cakesters, a doctor has a job. So, hey, be fat. Stimulate the economy. True love is getting fat together. You know what? I agree. That is true love. It's kind of hard to keep that love weight off because you get comfortable with someone, you start eating a lot more, you start sharing a lot more. It's easy to kind of not go to the gym. But my hope is for all of you guys is that you have a partner that will recognize when you're getting too big, and they aren't afraid to voice that. It's really easy for men and women alike to take that personally. No woman wants to hear their boyfriend basically say that they're obese or overweight. No one wants to hear that. That's devastating. And no dude wants to hear that their girlfriend is like, hey, you're getting a little bit big, you're a little bit slow in bed. Can we go to the gym and turn things around because I care about you and also I want to be attracted to you? No one's expecting their partner to be a supermodel, but it's one thing to kind of get big together and it's another thing to completely neglect someone else's health because you are afraid of hurting their feelings. Oh Lord, we got ourselves a whole lot of propaganda. Get ready. Diet Culture Kid says, my body and other bodies can and should conform to the thin ideal through restriction. The Diet Free Kid says, my body is good no matter size, and I can choose a variety of foods to fuel it as well. The Anti-Diet Kid says, a system of weight-based oppression rooted in racism and patriarchy is unjust. All bodies are good bodies, and all bodies deserve respect and care. Who comes up with stuff like this? Do people genuinely think that a post like this is encouraging them to stop going to the gym or to stop caring about their bodies? We could seriously go around and say that all bodies are beautiful, but no one believes that. Not a soul believes that. No one dates like that. No one finds people attractive like that. There's no function in society where that's true. Yet for some reason, we're compelled to say that to protect a small population of people. A small population of people who are so addicted to food that they hate the world around them, and they hate those who want to help them. It's criminal how much regret you feel after eating McDonald's. Like, you just know you're eating shrimp knuckles. Nah, all of you guys have internalized fat phobia. Get well soon. I'm glad no one paid attention to your tweet. Everybody knows that you tweeted this out just to stop the tears. Someone said something that you agree with, something that resonates with you. Every time you have 12 Big Macs, you feel bad. You feel like a monster. Yet, you're not gonna let anybody see that. No, you can't be vulnerable online. That's how you get bullied by people like me. So you're just gonna lie and say everyone has internalized fat phobia. Everybody can see through it. How transparent do you want to be? To my fellow fats, speaking on acknowledging our internalized ableism and fat phobia, have any of you in a public space found yourself monitoring your breathing so that the people around you would not judge you for breathing heavily? I'm sorry. It's just, how do you stop yourself from breathing heavily when you're 300 pounds? That's just impossible. What are you over here just taking one breath a minute? Okay, I'm gonna keep this in. I'm gonna keep it in. I'm not gonna exhale because I feel self-conscious about not being able to put down a cupcake. Losing just 3% of your body weight reduces your metabolism by 17%. How's that for health? That's just biology. Anytime you're losing weight, your body slows down metabolism because it thinks it's not going to get enough food like it did before. You're not dying, your body's just realizing, oh, we're just eating less food. Okay, let's just slow this down. Let's not burn too much too quick. Let's just build up some muscle or some fat if that's what you want. You see, you can get fat in places where you want to have it. You don't always have to have it on your gut. You can move it to other places without surgery. What you're describing isn't discouraging anyone from dieting. That's how it starts. But then when you go to work out, your metabolism catches up again because you're burning those calories. If you just diet, you're gonna have a hard time. You're supposed to diet and exercise. This is bargain basement, below average IQ common sense. Everyone understands this. Fat phobia is a public health issue. Fatness is not. I've never heard of someone being diagnosed with fat phobia. That's not a medical issue. You know, fatness is. Being obese is. Because that can give you like a heart attack and you can die. But who knows? You know, I'm not a doctor. I'm just a panda online. Thin privilege is being able to browse Reddit without fat phobia. It doesn't matter what sub, every sub ends up with fat phobic posts. I had to see a post talking about how it's healthy for underweight, very skinny girls, starting a trend online to wear child skirts as proof of skinniness, and how, if anything, it just highlights the childhood obesity problem. The sub? About Marxism. Off-topic posts are always allowed everywhere as long as they dehumanize fat people. That trend you just described sounds a little disturbing and disconcerting, but we're not going to talk about that. That's a whole different debate about whether or not that's like pro-Anna or whatever. We can talk about that another time. You just have blinders on. You're reading comments and you happen to find a ton that just talk about fat people. You take that personally because you're a fat person and you subconsciously filter all of their comments just to look for the ones that apply to you because you're a human. That's what humans do. Nobody is targeting fat people on this website. There are conversations about people losing weight. There are conversations about how obesity is disconcerting and ugly and not natural, but you take that as negative because you don't want to change your life. That's your problem. That's a 100% personal problem. What's up, everybody? It's your boy Ailurus, aka Panda Daddy, and I hope you enjoyed today's video. And if you did, let me know in the comments down below, and leave a like if you liked the video. And if you're new to my channel, go ahead and subscribe, fam. What you doing watching videos and not subscribing? And if you're old, make sure to hit that bell so you get these notifications every time. I've been gone for a little bit because it was spring break, and I wanted to have a little bit of a break, and we're back at it again with 6 pieces of content this week, so I hope you guys are excited. And as always, I gotta thank the Patreon supporters that make content like this possible. A big thanks to Keely, Dunder Has Hawk, Clyde the Hobo, The Fourth Lick, A Generic Fox Fur, Viva LaRue, I Didn't Bot My Viewers True, Julian, Benny's Big Bean Burrito, Knobs, Lady Laughs a Lot, Swiss Patreon user, Muffy Lou Who, Noah, Vermont, John Robinson, Eva, and Catherine Taylor. Thank you so much for your support. It is greatly appreciated. If you want to help support the channel, there's 2 links in the description, one to my merch store and one to my Patreon. Both funds go right into the channel so we can maintain what's happening here. And as always, stay zesty.